Hi, everybody. My name is Annie Buck. I am the academic program manager for the Masters of Clinical Research here at Boston University Graduate Medical Sciences at the Aram Chobanian and Abedizian School of Medicine. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Really appreciate it. Going over some admissions questions and basics. I'm joined by Mike Bennick, who is our admissions guru, as I like to say, and Dr. Brigitte Ritter, who is also here to help answer questions when we reach the question and answer period. So master's programs are really looking for, we use the term holistic review. And in the past, people have thought that you're just your GPA. And gone are the days where we reduce people and their experiences, their academic experiences down to a number. Academically strong students are more than just numbers. And while your numbers may consist of your test scores and your GPA, we're really looking for a committed interest in the program and the eventual career that you would like to pursue as a result of your master's training at BU. And this is demonstrated best by your interest in the experiences. And that can be reflected on your application by volunteer work, paid experiences, et cetera. But seeing a really nice continuity, a thread through your application of your interest in a very specific experience that could lead to the ultimate career outcome. And we're also looking to see if you're a good fit for the school and the program and what the mission is. You wouldn't want to, just like we wouldn't want to have somebody who's unhappy being here. We wouldn't want you to come to a university where you don't feel supported and believe in our goals and our mission. And this extends not only just from GMS, but the med school and Boston Medical Center, who's next door as a whole. Boston Medical Center is a safety net hospital, a level 1 trauma center, and we serve anybody and everybody who comes through our doors. And it's a very large underserved population in the Boston metro area. It's very research focused. I like to tell some of my students that we're very lucky to be able to do research at Boston Medical Center because we have such a wonderful, diverse population of patients and providers as well that come from a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different countries, a lot of different experiences. And we very much focus on service and outreach as a result of serving this underserved population. And what schools are really looking for, your experience, you are more than just test scores. As I said, you are a culmination of everything that has happened up until that point that you submit that application. And that can consist of clinical work, that can consist of any service that you have been involved with, outreach, leadership roles are an excellent example. Any research is also very important for certain programs, and your volunteer work, seeing a real commitment to that career path and goal. Employment matters too. Don't think that, just because you worked someplace that doesn't reflect who you are as a person. It absolutely could and sometimes does. And internship is also incredibly important, along with field work. I like to tell some of my students some of the best training I had for coming into academia and also clinical research and now public health is when I was bartending for 11 years, being in the service industry. You really learn a lot about yourself and you learn a lot about people in general. And so, while some people may think, oh, I wouldn't need to mention that or, highlight that on my application, I think that's something that I actually did highlight on my application. And it served me very well, both in academia and my career in the long run. Diversity is also another huge hot button issue, I think these days we could say. Looking for a good fit, is BU as a whole, as a university, a good fit for you, and are you a good fit for it? The diversity of the race and ethnicity, socioeconomic status, disadvantaged, rural, or disadvantaged health. And family educational history is incredibly important. Religion, age, distance traveled. How far are you traveling to come to BU? The cultural background, geographic location, gender identity, and LGBTQIA. It's all a part of who you are and what you are bringing to us as a university. And truly at the end of the day, you know, we all have stories, and every program wants applicants who are prepared academically. And being prepared academically does not just mean your test scores and your grades. It means, you know, what you have learned throughout your life, how you have grown, what you may have overcome, and how you've matured throughout your journey. Requirements for admissions can be broken down into general BU requirements and then program specific requirements. And the program prerequisites, you're going to want to take a look at each individual program and see what they are asking for. As far as GMS requirements as a whole, we're looking for an unofficial transcript from each college that you have attended, if there is more than one. And you can get bundled transcripts from one college, 3 letters of recommendation, and those can be program specific as well, depending on what the program may be looking for. It could be academic mentors, it can be clinical mentors. Personal statement with your qualifications and objectives for why you want to be here, what you want to get out of this, and what you feel as though you're bringing to the program, which is approximately 200 words. There may be additional statements that are requested by individual programs. And once again, that's me saying, please check in with the program that you intend to apply to. Your resume or CV, whatever you may have, your test scores, if applicable, for the DAT, the MCAT, or the GRE, and our BU institution code is listed there. It's 3087. And then there's a $95 application fee, and fee waivers are available in certain circumstances, and those would need to be considered individually. The international student requirements, this is potentially a lengthy process. We encourage international students to apply as early as possible. We will be requiring, and this can be program specific as well, the TOEFL, the IELTS, and the Duolingo, not for PIBS or the PA program. And then other docs will be required through WebAdmit, I-9 paperwork, and visa, and financial documents that support projected expenses, et cetera. And all of that is dealt with by the ISSO. So here's a list of the master's programs, the deadline for application, and the program contact. Now, as I said before, this session is being recorded, so you'll be able to access it again and go back and take a look at who you should be contacting should you have any program-specific questions. And please pay very, very close attention to the deadline, as these are typically non-adjustable. And especially for international applicants, we ask that you start the application process, ask the application questions as early as humanly possible when they arise, asking the questions to either the GMS office and admissions in general, or those who are listed as the program contact. We will get back to you as quickly as possible to make sure that those are addressed in a timely manner. Final thoughts for just a broad, this is a very 10,000-foot view of admissions for GMS. A lot of the questions that you may have are going to be program specific, but really, find a mentor. I can't tell you enough how important mentorship has been in my own academic journey and career, as well as so many of my other colleagues. Finding a mentor and really, looking for people who are where you want to go is a big piece of advice that I have. And talk to your advisor. Advisors have a lot of insight into application processes in general. Take a gap year if you feel that you need to gain more experience, or take other classes to make you a more well-rounded, informed student knowing what you want to apply to and why. Gap years can be incredibly impactful in shaping students' outcomes and careers and aspirations and goals. And I think it can be a really incredibly important tool for students in certain circumstances. So don't feel as though you need to hop right from one program to another and then all of a sudden emerge out into the world as a fully formed graduate pursuing a career. Sometimes a gap year is really impactful. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Please, please, please. We encourage them. We welcome them. We appreciate them. Reach out to anybody in the GMS office. And reach out to the program contacts as well. Everybody's incredibly approachable and will respond back as quickly as possible. Attend the open houses, the virtual fairs. You're already here. Welcome. Thank you. And learn more about BU as a whole and the individual program that you're interested in. And that can be done online, or you could call, take a look at the campus, etc., things like that. But really plan your time. Don't procrastinate when you're applying, because things, especially with applications, will always inevitably take longer than you think, especially letters of recommendation at certain times of the year. Certain professors or mentors or colleagues are going to be incredibly busy, and you want to make sure that you get those letters of recommendation in on time without having to constantly nudge your letter writers. Also, there are very busy times coming up to deadlines for when applications are due. Obviously questions and situations may arise around deadlines, obviously, but if you can anticipate trying to mitigate those circumstances and applying a little bit earlier than just at midnight on the deadline. And best of luck to everybody. Stay focused, work hard, and we are very, very excited to see your applications and very excited to see you on campus. So with that, I will open up the floor for questions to either myself or Dr. Ritter or Mike. Please, you can either write your questions in the chat or feel free to raise your hand, or even just unmute yourself. That's totally fine with me. And I will stop sharing the slides. There we go. Do we have any questions for anybody? And if you don't have any questions right now, that's completely fine. You have contact information for GMS as well as for the individual programs. So please feel free to reach out after the session. We'd be more than happy to help. Well, if there's no questions right now, I'm actually gonna, not trying to put Mike on the spot, but I would like to see if he has any pearls of wisdom that he would like to add to what I briefly mentioned in those very few slides. Maybe things that you might have, common questions you might be asked, or situations that you might have seen in the past.
Sure. With regard to transcripts, please do upload your unofficial copies through your application. Please don't send official copies to us before you've been admitted and accepted, because everything that you want reviewed for your own file, it needs to be submitted through the application portal. We, in some instances, can attach things for you on our end, but that breaks it out from the full application, and it's getting in the weeds a little, but just please follow the instructions as far as anything that the application asks for you to attach on your end. Please do, because that makes it part of the PDF. And a lot of faculty, we all know how busy faculty can be. A lot of times they'll download PDFs from the portal and review off of that. And if something isn't submitted by the applicant, it can get detached, and then so it's better to follow the instructions and upload everything that you're asked to through your site, through the applicant portal. If you're an international applicant, you are not required to submit a WES or an ECE. As long as your transcript is in English, you can use that, again, unofficial. However, thinking about it from the reviewer side, from the faculty side, the committee side, anything that you can present to help them understand your background better that may not be as familiar to them if you are from outside of the US, it may be helpful to get the WES or the ECE. Again, it's not required, but from the faculty perspective, more information about your background and your achievements, is better for them. I don't know if that's a pearl of wisdom, but just, and any program specific, like what kind of profile are you looking for or something like that, it is best to reach out directly to the program. They are pretty good about responding and to giving you a little background about, what they're looking for. Okay, thanks. Can you, the same, okay. Okay, so for application letters, what happens is for each application, or each program, there are links, there are specific links. Now, we can, as a courtesy, move letters within the application as long as it's for a GMS application. If you're applying to something on the main campus or say School of Public Health, we can't do that. As long as there are different programs within GMS, yeah, you can use those. However, you must go into your application and list the same recommenders, for each program. So, if you're applying to 3 programs, you're going to have 9 lines. You only have to have them respond once, but you must list them because programs only have access to program specific letters. So everybody can't just log in and see the 3 letters you have from, say, from clinical research or OHS or MAMS. Those programs can only see the letters attached to their program. So I hope that makes sense. And what you want to do if you're going to use the same letters is let the faculty know they're going to be getting multiple links. They don't have to respond to each one, but they are going to get it. There's no way around that. There's no workaround. So yes, we can use the same letters. However, you must list the recommenders for each specific application you're applying to, and let us know. It is your responsibility to reach out to us and say, hey, I'm applying to 3 different programs. I've listed my recommenders. Can you please attach those letters to all the applications? I hope that makes sense.
As an addition to that, there is a kind of a warehousing website company called Interfolio. I've used it. Several of my colleagues have used it. And it's a service that for academics and for academia. Yeah, Mike.
I don't mean to, we don't use that.
You can't submit letters of recommendation via Interfolio anymore?
No.
Oh,
Sorry. Pardon our
totally fine.
Side conversation here. No, each letter does need to come directly from the recommender, at least for the first time, as we discussed. Yeah, we don't, unfortunately, at this time, we're not accepting Interfolio. Please, we can't do it.
Okay. Yeah, please don't use Interfolio. Sorry about the confusion. But the rest of your question, asking if it's okay to only have 1 letter from your academic and then 2 letters from employment, that's going to be program specific. Each program is going to want to see letters from a different variety. And so depending on who you're applying to, they're going to have those letter writers and what they want to see very specifically outlined on their website. So thank you for that question. Yeah. Kimberly, you had a question.
Yes, hi, I'm in California, so good morning from my end. This might be a program specific question because I am applying to your PA program, but going back to the unofficial transcript discussion you just mentioned. So via maybe this, you can clarify my understanding, and I do plan to attend the 1:30 p.m. in a bit. But via CASPA, should I be uploading my unofficial transcripts and then additionally
Sorry to
submitting
interrupt.
official?
Sorry. Yeah, CASPA's, that's the one program that's a separate platform.
Mhm.
Please just save that question for the
For,
PA.
yes, for the PA
Yeah,
program.
sorry.
No, totally fine. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Does anybody else have any questions right now? I don't want to hold everybody too long. I know there may be other sessions at 1:30 that you want to get to. Dr. Ritter, is there anything that you'd like to add?
No, I think the only thing I know from my own personal experience, it really does take much longer than you think. Once you start the process and reaching out to your reviewers and making sure who you want to ask and writing your personal statement always sounds so easy in my head, and then I sit in front of the empty page on my keyboard. So please do start early.
Yeah, letter writers seem to be the limiting reaction, so to speak. So ask early, ask often, and hopefully get your application in as early as possible for review. That's words of wisdom. All right, I think that wraps it up for today. Thank you everybody for attending. Really appreciate it. Look forward to your questions and comments and seeing you hopefully on campus soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.